Welcoming you back to Davis Field and Fayette. I'm joined now by Eagle head coach David Callaway on our post-game show. 40-13 loss today to Missouri Valley. Coach, want to start off right early on in this game. Special teams was certainly a concern. We've seen some breakdowns at times. Do you feel like now that we're at this point of the season, is that something that for you, when you look to those plays, is that something you characterize as more unacceptable play? And anytime you think maybe a spot where at a point in the year where you might look to change things up personnel-wise with that?
Well, any bad plays that Mr. Simons is looked at is something that we don't be a part of. Jay, has had a rough year for us punting the ball. He's also young too. He's a freshman last year. I still believe in him. He can do some things. His first bad snap Scott Klein's had all season. Actually, almost in a year and a half. So, Mr. Simons, it's definitely unacceptable. By no means is giving up on those guys. We got to go back and continue to work on executing and paying attention to details. We blocked it right, we kicked it right before, and I certainly see us being able to continue doing it moving forward.
And even though you fell in that hole, still were able to get back in the game. And I think a play that Eric and I look to is something that really changed the game. That touchdown you had called back, the block in the back on Kevin Dennis. We were looking downfield. We didn't really see if there was a block on Kevin there. What did you see on that play?
Well, you can't pinpoint one situation. because you can look at the onside kick that we covered was offside. They couldn't really cover the play. So it's the bottom line, man. If you want to win football games, you got to play winning football. And we'll talk about that every weekend. We're battling, and we got to still understand how to win, snap in, snap out, and be concentrated on the task at hand. We got a couple guys trying to play a little hero ball on certain snaps, thinking they need to do that, and they should have been doing this. And we got to continue to battle and get that stuff corrected as we move forward.
You mentioned with some of those big plays trying to maybe do too much. Did you feel like, you see on the other side, Mobile runs a double reverse wide receiver pass, hits it big, a couple other real big plays. Did you feel like with the way the game flow played out, that your guys started maybe seeing that on the other side and saying, hey, look, we got to get it all back in one play?
Well, not necessarily. Our offense, they did some good things defensively. And they're a pressure team. We did a better job protecting in the second half. And as opposed to that reverse pass, we had our hands on the guy, on the reverse guy. He made a good pitch. We had a guy on him, and what we was calling, we had nobody accounting for the quarterback, and we knew that. And they made a better play in that situation, which is a step slow. And that's things you got to fight through when you're trying to rebuild and change the culture and continue to get those guys to understand assignment football. And we're still battling.
Joined here by David Callaway on the Eagle postgame show. Tommy Smith, your one touchdown. He's a guy we haven't gotten to talk about a lot this year, but a track guy who's able to find a burst. Talk about him a little bit and how he's been able to come on. I know he hasn't had a ton of opportunities just between him and Keenan splitting up those kick returns, but certainly looks like a guy who has the ability to really change the tenor of a game.
Well, obviously, you looked at the guy that had the ball in his hands, but finally we blocked it up correctly and got what we needed to get by the other 10 guys. And we continue to do that. Keenan can make those plays. Sean can make those plays. Tommy can help us from a speed standpoint. He's the first year playing running back, so he hadn't seen him much in the backfield because he's still learning that position. But, we like what he brings from an explosive standpoint. And finally, we had a chance to see him use his speed in the open field, and hopefully we get more of that as we move forward. I think guys see now that they could be consistent on their block instead of watch the return, that we can get some guys in position to make plays. And hopefully we can see that on tape and build off of it.
And as you go forward here now, out of the bye, you had that week to recuperate here in Missouri Valley, an awfully good team, ranked 13th, I think, in the country for a reason. So, as you mentioned, this rebuilding process, trying to get closer here towards what your goals are. How do you feel like now that you step back through 7 games here, like those guys are coming towards it? I know not showing up record-wise, but from what you've seen at times on the field, do you still have a good mentality about it going forward here with what
no doubt. I have a good mentality, and we're getting better. We got to understand how to play 60 minutes. And as a player, you're probably not seeing that because you're looking at the record. You're saying, okay, we're 1 and whatever, but it's progression being made. It's just not. We're not getting cash in what we want to cash, which is wins. Guys are getting better. We still got guys learning assignments, coming around, making corrections, doing the things, setting the foundation. And hopefully we start getting something in the right column. That's the key as we move forward.
And you go to Evangel now. I think we were alluding to on the broadcast how tough this division is. You got Baker, Missouri Valley, but Evangel coming out this week, definitely a winnable game for you guys. What's going to be the focus here as you get ready for another road trip down south?
Well, I'm sure Evangel looking at the tape and saying the same thing about us. Saying, hey, we got a winnable game this week too. So we won't look to Evangel until Monday. We'll go and make the corrections. We'll try to get what we need fixed from today's debacle, and then go from there.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next week.